Yo, what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to Not So Safe Space Podcast. It's your boy Caleb, aka JoJo, whichever one you like to call me. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm pulling up dolo. It's been like 3 months. What I'm saying? My cousin Robert going through some things. Speaking of Robert, happy birthday to you, cuz, July 29th. Y'all gonna be getting this video on the 30th, but his birthday is today on the 29th. He facing just a lot of hardships right now, so he can't really be here. You know what I'm saying? So I figured like I should try to do something, get some content out there, try to post a video every day up until, he back right and he right back sitting next to me. And we doing this together, how we plan to, how it all started. But you know, let's get right into it. You know what I'm saying? We're finna just be bouncing off like just a bunch of different topics. I'm gonna try to speed through as many as I can, try not to get stuck. You already know, fan of the big three, so we be talking about the big three a lot. Um, excuse me, but yeah. So start first. We actually just to do it, just to do it a little different. We're actually gonna start off with One Piece. Some topics that I've been seeing on social media that just I don't know that I just say I disagree with or just feel differently about. Um, I'm gonna just matter of fact, I'm gonna just like I said, I'm gonna just speed run them. Try to go. I won't go like super deep in detail. This is like anime only too. I'm not gonna speak on the manga because I'm not fully caught up. Um, but one of the things I want to say before I talk about like the legit topics. Everybody loves Mihawk. He's cool, but until we see him do more than what's shown, like until we actually see him fight, please stop overhyping that man. Cause like every time he had a real chance to show us what he's made of, it was like he didn't really do anything. We can try to compare him, or y'all can try to compare him to the Shanks that we see now, which doesn't even measure up because we don't know what the Shanks before he lost his arm looked like. The one that actually, fought Mihawk and they were practically even and stuff like that. Uh, yeah, like sword skill being the best, cool, but let's just leave it at that. Um, let's get to the real topics. One, I feel like people sleep on Katakuri still. I feel like if he, just because he was in Whole Cake, like they just think like just because, you go to like the next season, the next chapter, like everyone is just automatically over the previous people. Like not in the world of One Piece. That's not necessarily how that goes. It can be like that in some places, but it's not like that all the time. I feel like people sleep heavy on Katakuri just because of you know. Actually, nah, yeah. I think they just sleep on Katakuri just because of like they like the scale off animation. I feel like Katakuri can beat Queen. I feel like Katakuri could, at the very least, fight King full power to a standstill. Like, we say what you want, but we haven't seen anyone's observation hockey, you know, that's like just ultimately better than Katakuri's. His devil fruit, the way he uses his devil fruit is just amazing. And then, like I said, he's practically like Luffy, but better in some ways. If you subtract the new Gear 5 transformation, because technically speaking, Katakuri didn't. Katakuri lost like the battle. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't lose the fight to Luffy. He very much had that battle won once Luffy cut off his way of getting back. But yeah, we can. I feel like Katakuri is still slept on. I feel like Dofi is slept on because technically speaking, he did not lose to Gear 4 Luffy either. And he was never at full power when he was fighting the entire arc of Dressrosa, or at the very least, from the time he put up the bird cage and had a clone as well active, he was never at full power, and then their battle didn't even start then. So like he was doing a whole lot of stuff, chasing down Law, fending off Fujitora, battling Luffy, like yeah, while destroying the surface of Dressrosa because of the birdcage that no one that we've seen, was able to escape yet. So like I feel like the downplay just needs to stop. And to come from, like to be the voices of, your own fan base makes it even more upsetting in my eyes because it's like, bro, you know this show better than me. You probably already caught up. I've seen people say that they've read and watched it multiple times, and yet you in your so-called right mind fully believe that Katakuri would get no death by king, queen, and that Dofi would too, like because they lost to Luffy, who would also beat king and queen. Hey, it's cool. It's cool. You know, like I said, to me, the opinions are wrong, but opinions are people's opinions. They technically can be wrong because you got to be able to prove it wrong. I didn't make the story. Uh, but that's cool. Let's see what else. What else should I say about One Piece? Because I feel like, hmm, not gonna lie, I feel like people should stop using the Luffy has the power of imagination, um, like just statement to try to win arguments or versus battles. Because like you got to go off what you're shown. If you're saying that like Luffy has the power of imagination, he just doesn't know his powers yet, then how are you telling me that like that's his power? If he don't know his powers, how do you know his powers? Or if he don't know his powers, how is he supposed to use those powers in battle if he don't know? Like that's like us approaching a kid Naruto and just expecting him and well or just automatically assuming like yeah, Naruto can go KCM as a baby or as a kid. He just don't know it yet. No, he can't. He has to know, he has to master and control that. And then he will be able to do it at will. Like, because I can't use baby KCM Naruto as an excuse, as a win con, like that don't make no sense. Like, oh yeah, Ichigo. If you just blow a hole in your chest, you know what I'm saying? And then you will turn into the complete hollow. Nah, we're not even gonna dwell on that. We're just gonna keep moving. We're just gonna keep moving. Like I said, yeah. You can't keep using that as a win con. You gotta do more than that. Cause the way we see it, he's still operating like a like an awakened paramecia. What he comes in contact with, he turns it to rubber. The grabbing lightning was like I guess one of the biggest stretches. Maybe the no, not even that, because he's made of rubber so like the lightning wouldn't affect him as long as there's lightning striking. Of course he would be able to grab it if he was to grab hold of it, because he doesn't conduct electricity, so it ain't like he'd get shocked like that. That really made no sense, what I'm saying? I guess him like jumping around with it or bouncing off of it, that was actually pretty cool and stuff, but I wouldn't really use that to prove power of imagination, you know. What else is there? I think I forgot about. I think I forgot what I was going to say. Hmm. Oh yeah. People might not like this, but I don't care. To me personally, I feel like One Piece has the worst, and I downright mean like the worst. Like, um, I just say like the worst world government, worst I don't even know what to, cause like obviously they are like the world government, you know, like the Marines and stuff like that. But like just their higher ups, I feel like they're the worst ever because like they know that they're corrupt, yet like they it's like they were just contradictory. They were just they I feel like they're just self destructive. Like even the good ones let the evil, you know, it's like in the real life, you know, like good cop, bad cop stuff. Like, oh yeah, like there's good cops, there's bad cops, but like are the good cops because they don't do what the bad cops do? But then like are they still good cops when they like witness and enable and allow like the bad cops to do what they do when they're on duty with them, you know, like it's a lot of stuff, but I'm not gonna dwell on that for too long. I'm gonna just say like my main argument for this statement is I didn't like how it took Shanks, a pirate who's supposedly, you know, like a bad guy in their world, to save Kobe from Akainu, from killing him in Marineford. Because we seen Garp first he let Ace die, and then he was about to get his get back, and then Sengoku stops him. Why did you wait? You know, because obviously, like they be like, I didn't seen people say that. Oh yeah, the reason why Garp didn't do it because Ace didn't ask to be saved. You think he was gonna ask you to avenge him if he didn't want to be saved? Like, what would be the point in avenging him if you weren't gonna save him? And then it's like, why did Sengoku stop Garp from getting the get back, but he didn't stop Akainu from almost killing Kobe? And Kobe literally just wanted the war to end. He wanted the death to stop, and I did too. Marineford wasted so many lives for no reason. Everyone loves Marineford. Everyone said that's when One Piece really takes off. 500 episodes, by the way. Gotta get up to like 400 or 500 episodes for Marineford to begin. And don't get me wrong, Marineford was good. I enjoyed it, but to me, it was probably like the worst rescue arc I've ever seen. Worse than Enies Lobby. Worse than Sasuke retrieval arc. Worse than Soul Society. Because not only did y'all, it's like at least in the Sasuke retrieval arc, like the final battle between Naruto and Sasuke, she was golden, and then like the conclusion made sense. Like, bam, okay, Naruto let himself be struck by Sasuke's final attack to try to prove a point and scratching his headband, but he ultimately lost. Sasuke made it away. They didn't retrieve him. Soul Society arc when he Ichigo rescued Rukia, success. Enies Lobby, Robin wanted to die. You know, they saved her. She wanted to live in the end. Success, golden. You telling me they saved Ace? Orange Junior probably death hits to this day. It's harder than any death I witnessed in One Piece. That super huge giant that I literally met that episode. Didn't even know there was gonna be another Oars. You know what I'm saying? Like the way he was just making his way to Ace, crying and bleeding. Super huge, 100-foot tall beast calling this puny little fire ant big bro. Broke down the wall, made it to Ace. All of that. Whitebeard standing there taking shot after shot, blast after blast. He also lost his life. For them to rescue Ace and then he throw it away to Akainu because of some words. If Whitebeard didn't bust a move, why would you? He didn't tell you to do anything. He didn't need you to defend his honor. Why would you throw away everybody's efforts like that? Because that's what ultimately led up to Luffy losing his Beaver card, and somehow he just wasn't paying attention. You know what I'm saying? And then bam, blasted. Like, yeah, no. I was there. Like I said, I still enjoyed it, but that part it just struck me to my core because I just thought that we wasn't all the lives wasn't gonna be in vain, and they clearly and it just was. So that was, and then it's like they was finna let Kobe die too. If Shanks didn't step in, then ain't nobody want to fight Shanks. He ended the war. Yet they're still not claiming him to be the strongest right now. Y'all would put a Kainu in y'all number one strongest One Piece character slot over Shanks. Like he put Feetless Emu up there. I still don't see a Kainu like beating Kaido. Cause like I said, we know why Kaido lost to Luffy. That was legit plot. I don't nah. I ain't gonna lie. I can stay on One Piece all day. I already done spent about 10 minutes on it. Probably plus. Cause everybody else was toe up about they crying over the boat. I didn't care about that boat. That shit pissed me off. Because that made me dislike Usopp even more for the first portion of the show. I was upset because they lost so many useful lives. And then it's like that was just it. No more Whitebeard pirates. We're just gonna see Marco occasionally. Man. But hey, at least that Luffy versus Kizaru fight was lit. Yes, sir. But y'all just go peep that. Y'all just go watch it. Anyway, let's get over to Naruto. I want to talk about Naruto for at least 5 to 10 minutes before I cut this out and probably record another one. Um, just because I might not be able to record on the third. Well, actually, I'm gonna be posting both of these on the 30th tomorrow. Um, so y'all be getting two videos, or I might just have two videos on Friday. It all depends. I'm not gonna lie. The rain been on and off with the rain. Wi-Fi been just destroying the Wi-Fi, just making it way worse. But yeah, Naruto. So a couple things I want to speedball through. One, tuning exams. Neji, he tuning exams. Neji does not beat Sasuke. Actually, the way the story progresses, Neji would never beat Sasuke unless you're using like a older version of Neji compared to like a younger version. So, and other than that, I don't know why people think that Sasuke in the tuning exams is losing to Neji. Neji loses to Rock Lee in the tuning exams. If God gives him the okay to tick off those weights, or if he were to use the gates, because like why people been talking trash like that's not the main reason why Lee has been losing to Neji. He's not trying to fight him like his life depends on it. He's trying to beat him with honor, fair, like regularly fair and square, even though Neji's Byakugan and 8 trigrams is OP enough. Pretty sure Lee took off the gates, as you've seen how surprised Neji was in the tuning exams, he would not be able to keep up. Um, Two, I feel like Now, this is gonna be like a hot take because I know a lot of people don't feel like this. But me personally, I have pre-time skip Naruto Kabuto, like Kabuto with the short ponytail and glasses. I have him beating part one Kakashi in a 1v1. Like people sleep on how dangerous Kabuto truly is as a medical ninja. Like I don't even have much time to like go into like heavy detail. I'm sorry, I'm not like a tech genius or like super tech savvy. I'm recording off my phone and stuff like that, so I can't like edit in or show you like scans and stuff like that. But like Kabuto is that his dead soul jutsu is nothing to play with. Like if y'all remember that scene in the hospital where Kabuto was I think he was going after Sasuke. He was probably gonna try to like take Sasuke body or something like that. But Kakashi came in and stopped him, and like it was a whole bunch of it was just like two to three other bodies in there, and Kakashi low key like thought he had Kabuto dead to rights, but like whole time Kabuto like you just didn't know who was the real Kabuto. Like that's why Naruto is just so crazy because like people sleep on the verse when it comes to their battle tactics. Like y'all think a regular encounter is just gonna be a taijutsu fisticuffs fight whole time. Like someone gonna use like transformation jutsu, substitution jutsu, and a couple other things, and then you're not gonna know what's going on. That you're gonna get psyched out because you're not ready for all of this. Like it's literally gonna happen in the blink of an eye, and you're just gonna lose your life. But back on topic, Kabuto Part One slams Part One Kakashi, bro. Like he's gonna have to try to pull out the Kamui, but guess what? If he wastes any of those chances and he hits a substitution or just a clone in general, and he depletes his chakra, all it's gonna take is one chakra scalper from Kabuto, and he's not gonna be able to use no more jutsu. He probably might even die in their first battle. Actually, I'm most certain that Kakashi would almost die in a battle against Kabuto in Part One. Like if they were both at their peak strength and just went toe to toe for real. Like Kakashi, the reason why he's glazed is because people just enjoy glazing people. I love Kakashi, he's cool, but I never really loved him as much as everyone else. So I said I like Kakashi. I wouldn't say like I just love him so much. I don't love his character. You know what I'm saying? He just been through a lot of tragic stuff, just like every other character in Naruto. But you know, they say he copied 1,000. He knows 1,000 jutsu, but that's because he copied it with the Sharingan. But we only see him use like 10. You know what I'm saying? Like it gets more. Everything that's special about Kakashi isn't even his own, for the exception of the Lightning Blade slash Chidori. Like that's literally it. Kakashi of the Sharingan because his friend gave it to him. The Kamui is so broken, it's not his Sharingan. He copied the Water Dragon from, you know, Zabuza, thanks to the Sharingan. Surprised he never copied anyone's speed or like it's a whole bunch of stuff Kakashi could have done that we didn't see him do. But like in a battle like that, I don't see because we've seen what God can do, right? We've seen what God can do when he's like serious but still not trying to take your life. Yet they say that Kakashi is on par with, if not better than Guy, supposedly in Taijutsu, if they were to fight base to base, but I don't see it at all. And you'd have to specify base to base because even though Kakashi can open up a couple of the gates, even though we should have seen something like that to prove it, he ain't never did it. I don't see him measuring up and doing anything close to what God did at all. I don't even see him fighting God hand to hand. Like no, no. I'm sorry. Um, let's see. A lot of people, a lot of people say that if well, just because Pain says that if Jiraiya knew their secret, that they would have lost. But like, give me an example of what Jiraiya could have done if he known. Oh, okay, all of the Pains see through each other's eyes. What was he still going to do? Like, how can anyone stop the Deva path the way that Naruto did? Planetary devastation, almighty push, universal pull. Hell, Naruto practically lost in the first encounter. He had the cleanest pull up upon the sage toads and everything. Took out a couple of the other paths, but once it got down to it, before you know what I'm saying, Hinata stepped in and did the bravest thing I've ever seen anyone do up until the war arc when that one soldier ran at Madara before everyone else. There was nothing anyone could do. So yeah, no. Jiraiya could have known that Nagato's body was separate from the rest. Still was going to die if he did not retreat to deliver that information. That's why Jiraiya actually lost the fight because he decided to stay versus retreat. You could have gathered intel and used that shadow jutsu that you did when you were already hiding. You could have went and you could have got transported and used the souls the toad sages to transport you somewhere. Or you could have just used any type of escape tactic and in general. Because you can't tell me that he would have been able to stay and fight and win, but he wouldn't have been able to escape. I feel like Minato, even though he is glazed a lot, just like Itachi and Kakashi, I feel like he's still heavily slept on. I feel like that's the reason why most people believe that his glaze is like over the top, overhyped. You know what I'm saying? Is because he's already underestimated. Like, yes, the flying Raijin makes him able to teleport, but he still has very good foot speed and reaction speed. Even though we've never seen his foot speed directly, it had to be. You can measure. You can to a certain extent equate foot speed to travel speed. And if he was able to dodge the Raikage, traveling at light speed at point blank range, because that's when he flipped the kunai when he tried to attack him at point blank range. Dodging last second would mean that he'd have to travel at least the speed of light to get out the way. Because traveling any slower than that, you're not moving out of the way. So at least light speed reaction, light speed travel foot speed. You add in teleportation technique to that, and if it's done properly, you have what could be one of the most untouchable human characters in anime. Um, I feel like he has what it takes to defeat Madara and Hashirama in 1v1 combat battle, but overall, he could potentially lose. I got him fourth strongest. I don't think, actually, he might have to go five because, you know, I don't know how well versed everyone is in Boruto. So, if we're ranking everyone who's been Hokage, I don't see many people fighting Tsunade in hands. But since Minato was so fast, she probably wouldn't even be able to touch him. Ain't no possibly. She would most definitely not be able to hit him because he'd be too afraid to get hit. Actually, I wouldn't be mad at him. But to close this dysfunctional podcast session out, and hopefully I get a little better as time go on. So it's not too much work for Robert because, like I said, he'll have to help me out, support me, cause it's not your fault. I'm just my head just not just been messed up just as much, trying to get everything together the right way. But the last thing I want to say, for those of you who've watched Boruto or know anything about Boruto, one thing that y'all have to just get over with and accept: adult Shikamaru in Boruto beats every Hokage in Shippuden in a 1v1. Hashirama is powerful. Tobirama is very skilled. All of them are nice in their own way, but they lose to Shikamaru. Why? Because he just got that much stronger. So what if he's still lazy? It doesn't matter. His shadow possession is so strong that he can hold a base Momoshiki in place to where he cannot move. That's the shadow stitching technique actually. Because if he could move, then he'd have just walked through it, right? No. What did he do? He had to absorb the shadow. Crazy that you can even absorb someone's shadow like that, but he absorbed the shadow. If he can restrain a base Momoshiki who has enough power to damage a base adult Naruto, who clearly thrashes every Shippuden character that isn't a six path anyway. But actually, decimate them too. I'm pretty sure Shikamaru can beat the Hokage. The shadow stitching and strangling technique will be enough to crush their entire bodies because he's strong enough to detain them in 1v1s. They can't approach him closely. They can come from the sky, but once they form a shadow on the ground, they're caught. Actually, something that I've always said that people just didn't like, and this is actually, I'm serious about ending the video after this, but this is one thing I want everyone to just think about. And please comment down below, like, what y'all want me to talk about. If y'all have any questions y'all want me to answer, any topics y'all want me to discuss or anything, because I want to work on like getting the Discord and some other stuff set up just so we, because my cousin Robert is gonna be a part of this too, but just so we can start interacting with other people more. Um, yeah, just comment down below everything, like whatever y'all want to talk about, like any questions y'all got, any things y'all want me to go deeper in detail on, or anything of the sort. But one thing that I used to always say, and I'm gonna keep saying, and remember this, and push this: if Kishimoto utilized his other clans, Naruto would have been longer than One Piece and proven to be even more so one of the, if not the greatest anime of all time, because they still have so much potential, like everyone. And if the Nara clan, Shikamaru's clan, fought at night, where everything is practically a shadow and the moonlight casts even more shadows, they would literally be the most lethal assassins. They would be more dangerous than the Ambu themselves, because they wouldn't even have to approach you to catch you. They're at night. It's dead at night. You're in a mission. Imagine like you're finna steal something. They be the ultimate security, ultimate bodyguards, ultimate assassins, ultimate night watchers. Like they just be they're just ultimate at night. And they made the smartest one in their clan a lazy kid. Look, I could talk about Naruto forever because the potential there is just infinite. Kishimoto was cooking so much that he might have overcooked, which is why he had to stop everything before it got too good, because he'd steer off course from too much. There's so many times where he could have steered off course and took a different path, but it would have completely changed the story of Naruto. So I don't never blame him for that. Not like everybody else, I don't see none of the potential that Naruto has as wasted. I just see it as he can utilize it differently in the future and in new stories, in different stories if he wants to tie anything to Naruto. But in the sense of the Naruto story, the original story itself, yeah, that's all it. But back to my ultimate comment, the Nara clan would be undefeated at nighttime. Shadow style jutsu would be ultimate at nighttime. There's nothing they can do. Nothing you can do against them. It's just what it is. He can use his own shadow. He can attach it to other shadows to extend the shadow. He can grab objects with the shadow. He can grab you with the shadow. He can choke you with the shadow. He can stab you with the shadow. He makes you do what he wants you to do with the shadow. Yeah. Anyways, I appreciate everybody for pulling up. Thank y'all for showing the love. Share with your friends and family. Please hit the subscribe and like button. Don't forget to comment. Please comment. That's the number one thing I want y'all to do. Comment, ask questions, and just give me your input, your feedback, and all of that. See y'all in the next video. If it ain't another one posted by tonight, then you will definitely get one when I get home from work tomorrow. Um, that's it. I'm out. Thank y'all so much.